So this morning, I went out into the hot tub. And I have one of those portable hot tubs. I can seat 8 people. It's a pretty big hot tub. And what I did is I lifted the cover off the hot tub and put it down. When I lifted the cover, the water on the top of the hot tub was perfectly still. There was not a ripple. And then all of a sudden, a drop from above fell down. And there was a ripple. And then there was another drop and another ripple. And those 2 ripples were intersecting with each other. And then a third drop came in. And so all of a sudden, where there was no activity, there was a bunch of activity. And then I flipped on the switch to start the jets. And then there was a flurry of activity within the hot tub. And I sat in the middle of the hot tub with all this activity around me. And I realized that's the same thing as living within our mind. There we are in the center of our mind, and all of these thoughts are bombarding us from every direction. And I said, how can I get my thoughts back to the state when I first lifted the top of the hot tub and I saw ultimate peace? You see, that's what we're going to talk about today. Ultimate peace. Is it real? Here's what I understand is I've listened to people throughout my life talk to me that success brings peace. When we are successful, we have peace. And I want to tell you, I just don't see it that way. I say there is no peace in success. I believe that success creates a desire for more. And this desire for more is never ending. It never ceases. And as long as there's desire going on in our mind, there's never going to be total peace, because the mind is what? The mind is working as to how to analyze it, how to fix it, what to do next, what resources, where do we stand, what's the status of the project, do I have to pivot, do I have to keep going in the direction? I don't know what it is. But success causes us to go for greater. With success, there are always conditions to be met. There's always something more to do. And once we achieve the success, you just don't keep doing nothing to get it. You've got to do things to maintain it. And then once you have that level of success, what do we want next? A higher level of success. Why? It's within our natural nature. Our natural nature is to expand, to grow, and to experience more. As I study the Eastern yogis, the masters of the East, the teachings of the East, they make the statement, true peace needs nothing. It is only when there is no comparison that we can know peace. Do you understand that? Do you really feel that? Is that comparison keeps the mind in judgment? Whether good, bad, I want more, I want less. You compare in your relationships. Are you at peace with your relationship? Well, if you're looking at your partner saying, I really like this about the partner, that's not peace. That's a state of liking. Well, I really don't like this about my partner. That's not a state of peace. That's a state of, I don't like that. In a relationship, the only time there's peace is when there's perfect balance in being with that person. So for me, I think about the only time that I've experienced that total peace is maybe, when for whatever reason, in a very rare moment, I'm able to look into my partner's eyes or a friend's eyes, and for a nano of a second, there is no judgment. There is just pure acceptance, purely observing the magnificence of that which is in front of me. Think about that from an abundance standpoint. If you've got $1 million, are you at peace? Or are you thinking about, how do I get my second $1 million? How do I protect my $1 million? In today's age, a question might be asked is, Hey, is the market going to take another downturn? If the market's going to take another downturn, I don't want to lose 30, 40, 50% of my $1 million. So your mind is always going there. And then if you don't have $1 million, you're thinking, oh my God, how do I get out of debt? How do I keep from getting out of debt? How do I find money to pay my mortgage? How do I do that? Is there peace there? So it's not the amount of money that's going to give you peace. It'll give you a feeling, but it's not peace. The same thing about health. Health, when do you feel perfect health? When you're feeling great, God, I feel great. I want to be like this all the time. I want to have a little bit more muscle. I'd like to lose 1.5 pounds. There's no peace in that. When do we become totally satisfied that we don't judge? Because as long as we're judging, true peace cannot happen. I'm going to give you a secret that's going to take you closer to peace, but it's not going to quite get you there. And that secret is, don't do anything to succeed. Do it because it gives you joy. When you give with joy, when you're doing it from joy, you're not looking for success. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're doing it and it gives you joy, you're going to do your very best. And what will follow? Success. You're not attached to success. You're attached to that which you love to do. And when you do what you love to do your best that you can in that moment and know that it's enough. I was in the gym on Friday, and the gym I go to has these specific machines that are controlled by computers, the resistance machines. And every time I go in and I'm doing the exercise, it's actually right in front of me measuring what I did graphically compared to what I did before. And like on my first 2 exercises, I did not beat my record the time before. The next 3 exercises and aspects of the exercise, I did beat the time before. But as I reflected back on the first 2 exercises, I did the best I could. And because I did the best I could in that moment, I know that I stressed the muscle, and my purpose was to stress the muscle, which tears the muscles down, which allows it to rebuild into a stronger muscle. So I love to lift. I want you to know that. I know I'm crazy. I know that may not be where you are, but I love to lift because I love what it does for my muscles. It makes me feel young. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel vibrant. And so because I love to do it, why would I do it and not do my very best? Do you see how that would cause inner stress? If you're doing something that you love, or you think you love, and you're not doing your best, are you bringing more judgment to you? The same thing in a relationship. If you're going to be in a relationship, you either go all the way or you don't go at all. You either trust 100% or you don't trust at all. There's no sense doing anything halfway, because the more you do it halfway, the more judgment, the more out of peace you become. It's just that way. You just come out of it. And so what I've come to understand is that my idea of focusing in the outer world, things outside of myself, doesn't work. Peace, true peace, ultimate peace, can only be experienced when we go outside of the mind, outside of the body, and we become the observer. And the only way that we can do that is to go into a state of meditation. Peace is a state which is best achieved in deep meditation. Now, it's not the whole time of being in meditation. It's actually the space between the thoughts. Because no matter how great a meditator you are, thoughts will continue. But what does happen as you quiet that mind more, there will be a space between the thoughts. And when you're there, that is ultimate peace. But you don't know when you're there. And you can't describe what it is when you're there, but you did. experience it. You know you experience it. It's like, how can you describe the first time you looked into your child's eyes and felt a love beyond anything you've ever felt? I remember the moment I looked into my son Stephen's eyes when he was a day and a half. I remember the moment I looked into my son's Matthew's eyes when he was born. I have no words, but in that moment, I was in the deepest state of love, and it was pure, pure peace. There was no judgment. There was unconditional and total acceptance of them and myself. Peace is a state where there is total balance, and we are unaware when we are there. That's why when we look at the idea of forgiveness and we think that we've got to just do this outside work, forgiveness is real simple, folks. It's about finding the balance in the situation. Once we find the balance in the situation and there's no emotional charge, we come more to an ease. I want to say it's like the hot tub with a few little wrinkles in it, little waves going through it. That's a nice place to be. That's not ultimate peace, but that's peaceful. And I think from the human perspective, the best we can achieve on any period of time is to feel peaceful and then have those moments, those brief seconds when we go into meditation and we go between the thoughts and we experience ultimate peace. I can remember being at this meditation chapel in Unity Village in Lee's Summit, Kansas. And it's a beautiful, dark chapel with just about, I think, 8 seats in it. There's a candle, and on the wall, it says, "Peace, be still." You could also say, "Be still, peace." I invite you today to take a moment and quiet your mind, quiet your body, and be still and allow that ultimate peace to wash over you. I want to thank you for joining us today. I'm so grateful that you took your time to watch or listen to this message. If you found this message beneficial, I would ask that you go to our website, agapecsl.com. Once there, click on the donate button and experience the joy of conscious and purposeful giving. Or if you would like, text your gift by simply dialing 972-532-6976. It is through your gifts that we are able to bring this message to you in the world. I would ask that if you like this message, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Lee Wolak. Again, I want to thank you for joining me in the Agape community as we learn how to better self-love through conscious living.